And your world is crawling with even weaker bugs. I'll make an example of them.
Here, you're having better luck with it than me.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 kids cartoon reboots that nobody asked for. For this list, we'll be looking at the worst reboots, remakes, or continuations of animated programs that were probably better left on the drawing board. Before we get started, let us know which cartoon you think deserves a well-executed reboot. Number 10, G.I. Joe Extreme. Most fans said G.I. Joe no to this ill-conceived and even more ill-fated revival.
Perfect. Our collection of scientific minds is almost complete. Star will reign supreme!
The recipe for the original series' success shouldn't have been too hard to replicate, but the reboot decided to make itself unrecognizable by adding a heaping dose of extreme. Really, the only thing extreme about it was how extremely misguided it was.
Welcome home. Like what I've done with the place?
Anyone involved should have realized that abandoning familiar characters, grounded action, and even Cobra was the exact opposite of what fans wanted. Instead, the lame cash grab was somehow overly dramatic yet full of cringy humor, which is pretty disappointing.
And remember, don't judge people till you give them a chance.
'Cause there's a chance you could be wrong. Now we know.
Number 9, Quack Pack.
I feel like quacking, so I think I will. I'm gonna quack, quack, quack until I get my fill.
Before we got the praiseworthy reboot that is the 2017 DuckTales, we had Quack Pack. We're not sure if there was too little distance between the success of the original show and this 90s remake or what, but it didn't work. Huey, Dewey, and Louie, who are aged up to teens, seemed to be exclusively concerned with picking up girls. They weren't much more than boring and bratty.
What is your problem? You could have hurt me. Me hurt you? You cut me off.
Fans asked for more Donald, but what they got was a bland, almost antagonistic version of him, and an altogether absent Scrooge McDuck. While there are some charming family hijinks buried in the feathers, the lack of focus kept this show from truly spreading its wings.
A story on a traffic jam outside Porcupine World will not win our audience back. Has it occurred to you that you're being a buckle-headed old pea-brain?
Number 8, Thundercats Roar.
We got Lion-O, the brand new lord of the Thundercats, and Tigra. He's got a rope with balls on it.
Since the original series is at the very top of the food chain when it comes to beloved animated classics, this immediately questionable reboot became easy prey for fan disapproval. Before it even aired a single episode, the caricature art style and overly comedic tone seemed to betray the authentic undercurrent of the classic Thundercats.
All right, Doomstaff, prepare to get sliced! Oh man, I missed.
Time's up, doofus!
What was that magic sword word again?
Admittedly, this revival had some genuinely chuckle-worthy moments, but they're exceedingly out of place in a show that should have really been titled something else. In the end, fans roared their disapproval loud enough to get it canned after just one season.
Save it, Slimewad. I don't care how they do things in whatever crime-infested cluster of stars you oozed out of.
Number 7, the Fairly OddParents, Fairly Odder.
You two aren't coming to college with me.
We're not! You can't leave us behind!
If these are the kinds of wishes Cosmo and Wanda are granting, maybe we're better off without them. The original animated program sank after shoehorning in too many new characters, so it's baffling that the live-action reboot fell into the exact same pitfalls. Only worse, Timmy, yes, that's Timmy, goes off to college, leaving his fairies behind with his cousin Viv. While we wish we could say the lack of Timmy is the show's biggest issue, that's just scratching the surface of its missteps.
Sassy was suspected of stealing previous statues. Everyone just kind of accepts his ability to talk. Master Sculptor announces retirement. Rumors of secret spa. Are they true? I hope so. Mama needs a deep tissue.
The fact that it's live action in the first place is pretty disorienting, but the cringy laugh track, cheap-looking special effects, and the downright embarrassing costumes makes us wish Cosmo and Wanda could wipe this from our memory.
Boom. Turn. Fierce.
They're gonna eat her alive.
Number 6, All Grown Up.
It's bad enough there'll be preteens there, but pre-preteens? Please don't make me invite them.
Ever wanted to see Tommy, Dill, and Angelica hit puberty? No? Well, you aren't alone. The whole point of Rugrats is that the main cast is in diapers, which is important since the same kind of stories just don't work with a teenage ensemble. Without the childlike sense of wonder, things like Angelica's over-the-top dramatics go from cute to eye-rolling real fast.
Look, Angelica, it's not that bad.
Plus, it's just plain weird to see characters we literally watched grow up, go out and party. The whole thing just felt uncomfortable instead of nostalgic. It seems that without their classic baby babble, these guys really crap their diapers.
What do you want? I want to know how long you'll be vacationing on the planet Mondo Weirdo.
Number 5, Speed Racer: The Next Generation.
I wouldn't take that risk if I were you. The choice is yours.
On principle, an American-made spin-off of an acclaimed Japanese anime is to be approached with caution. But that's not enough when this show gassed itself up with no regard for its legacy and employed a cast thinner than cardboard. The engine revved too fast to develop any sort of coherent plot, and that's if you can stomach the shoddy animation. Even if the writing was up to snuff, the horrible CGI races and subpar voice acting would have failed it.
You gotta be kidding me.
You're right.
This pit stop in the franchise was made to tie into the forthcoming live-action film, which should tell you everything you need to know.
Have any of these drivers read the rule book?
Number 4, Be Cool, Scooby-Doo.
Okay, I believe there's a rational explanation for everything.
Then explain me.
Can someone please explain why I'm having a conversation with puppets?
Zoinks, is this bad? After decades of consistent characterization, it takes a lot to make the Scooby Gang feel this off-brand. Despite the best efforts of its returning voice cast, this unrecognizable take on the franchise abandons its ghoulish tone for overly crude humor. Look, we aren't expecting realism from a show about a dog that solves crime, but Be Cool leans so far into zaniness that it becomes a self-parody.
Oh, look at the cute couple. Grammy! Sneaking away for some canoodling?
No, like no canoodling here!
And don't even get us started on the animation style. At the very least, the chase scene music is still totally worth a Scooby snack. We just wish we could say the same for the rest of the show.
I think it's part of the game.
As long as they run.
Number 3, Lunatics Unleashed. Drop the loony, there's none of that in this post-apocalyptic superhero cartoon.
Adjusting to this strange new world has been difficult for all of us.
At a conceptual level, putting the eccentric cast of Looney Tunes character, or rather their descendants, into a dark, gritty world misses the entire point of their lighthearted origins. The show continued to drop the anvil with tonally confused storylines, poorly cast voice talent, and wholly out-of-character writing.
Yesterday you were calling yourself Super Duper Duck. Yeah, well, it wasn't quite rolling off the tongue.
Somehow, Lunatics Unleashed still made it 2 full seasons before mercifully saying, "That's all, folks." However, the damage was already done. The show was so poorly received that the entire franchise had to go on hiatus afterward for some major brand rehabilitation.
That looks pretty bad.
Number 2, The New Adventures of He-Man.
I was summoned to the future by the last of mankind to defend them in their hour of need.
After an acclaimed run of fantasy, magic, and action, the pitch for this sequel was apparently just He-Man in space. We wish we were kidding. Despite existing in the same continuity as its predecessor, the marked shift in tone, setting, and visuals made this continuation feel more like a bad fever dream. Even fans that weren't turned off by the galaxy-sized changes had to contend with too many new characters and an overly ambitious narrative.
Terraclaws, you take the anadroid, I'll handle the mutants.
It shoehorned in so many excessive elements that there wasn't enough time for He-Man in his own show. From the very start, his new scrawnier design should have told everyone involved that this was a mistake.
I crown you King Skeletor and Queen Britta, rulers of nothing.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, The Powerpuff Girls. Fans who'd spent years clamoring for a revival of this iconic superhero show got their wish in 2016, but it came as a result of Mojo Jojo's paw curling.
But I guess I'll have to cancel. Someone has to take care of my little girls.
Without input from the original creator, this silly, charmless iteration lacked any of the original series' wit, humor, or fun.
Yeah. Well, my name is Blossom and I'm here to say no rapping.
Even worse, the titular trio were unfathomably recast. Reportedly, the original voice actors, who all still have very active careers, mind you, weren't even considered to reprise their roles. Fans wanted more from this franchise, but all they got was a tasteless recipe made up of sugar, spice, and nothing nice. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.